Another night of paradise in the Europa League for Arsenal. Deary me. The amount of awful games you're going to see in the Europa League on a Thursday night in Arsenal are no exception. But we did get ourselves the win, a good win, but a poor game in general. Welcome back to Analysing Arsenal, and this is going to be a much more happier, much more relaxing analysing Arsenal. Bit more upbeat, a bit more positive. We get back to winning ways. We've beaten Red Star Belgrade by a goal to nil, courtesy of Olivier Giroud. And these are my thoughts, feelings, and all of the reaction to the game. Now, I just want to say quickly before we actually get into this Analysing Arsenal video that apologies for kind of the last week only doing these Arsenal videos and not doing my other videos as well. I've been very, very poorly, and I'm feeling much more better now, and I'm going to get back to a proper schedule. So apologies with the delay in my channel over the last week. But thank you for the support that you showed on Analysing Arsenal, and the Watford game kind of went down really well. So, well, I mean, obviously it did because we lost and I was ranting, but you know, the support that you showed on that game was absolutely brilliant. So thank you so much for that. So yeah, let's get back into the Europa League, which has been kind of great in terms of keeping a 100% record, 3 wins out of 3, and it has been an ideal, more of an ideal kind of service, but it's been an education, really, the Europa League, you know, for Arsenal. It's been a learning curve, it's been an education, and I guess kind of the beauty of the Europa League is that, you know, the Europa League opens up places and countries where you would never ever, you know, anticipate to go. So as kind of a season ticket holder, as a you know, kind of an away fan, you're going to be going to countries that you've never ever dreamed of going. I mean, a lot of people would have gone to Cologne, Brussels when we played Batty Borislav, you know, possibly, but you know, Serbia tonight against Red Star Belgrade, you know, it's one of those places where you probably wouldn't think, oh, you know, we're going to go on holiday, we're going to go there, but it's one of those places which kind of looked beautiful, really, and you know, it's had its moments in kind of the historical nature of it, and it has had moments of just greatness. But these teams like Red Star Belgrade kind of relish moments when they can play host to kind of one of the best English teams, you know, and which is Arsenal, you know, one of the best teams in the Premier League, and you know that they were going to be absolutely, they were just over the moon to host us. And you saw it from the crowd. It was like, I think it was 55,000 sellout, you know, crowd, and that they were, you know, probably were quite admired, and more to the point, they were quite honoured to be hosting Arsenal. That doesn't mean that it was the greatest game you're going to watch, if we're being perfectly honest. I think Red Star kind of gave Arsenal way too much respect, way too much credit. It's understandable, you know, one of the top teams in England. But Red Star were very, very negative. And we'll come on to Arsenal as well. They were, you know, it was kind of 2 negative teams going head to head. But, you know, Red Star are the home team. And you expect the home team to kind of give the game to us, you know, push the game out and kind of take the game by the scruff of the neck and give it to us. They were just passing it around. They allowed us to have a lot of the ball, which we are a possession-based team. We normally have a lot of the ball, but you expect away from home that there are moments away from home where you expect, or I expected Red Star to have quite, you know, a decent amount of possession and then us to try and get us on the break. And what happened was, it was the complete opposite, where we had a lot of the ball, we had total control of the game, we weren't really doing much, and then Red Star were trying to hit us on the counter. And we just couldn't break them down. Like the first half, we just could not break them down whatsoever. And it was really frustrating to just see this, you know, this passing square action, kind of the sideways passing, trying to break in, you know, to go through the right, go through the left, keep getting cut down. We had one really good chance in the first half. Jack Wilshere was the man of the match, absolutely superb performance. Whips in the ball, goes out wide, it falls into Walcott, and he just hits it. And the goalkeeper, which is, I can't actually remember, Stojkovic, is the goalkeeper. I've got the team news up on my phone. Stojkovic made an absolutely tremendous save, and that was kind of the only real big chance that Arsenal had in the first half. And in the first half as well, Red Star had a fantastic chance, which was saved by Cech, and it was their striker, Boake, who, as it came down, switched to the right-hand side, he pulled it in and then curved it, and then coughed it round to the left-hand side. Cech made a great save. Cech came in, Ospina picked up an injury in training, which meant that Petr Cech made his first Europa League start for Arsenal, and he's won the Europa League with Chelsea, so he's no stranger to this competition. But he made a great save. But it was a very slow, stale game, really, in that first 45 minutes. It was just one of those games which you expect to see on a Thursday night on the Europa League, like in the Europa League. And it's a criticism, you know, it's just a reputation that, you know, these Thursday night games, you see some absolutely just trash football games. Like, again, as a neutral, and I said this on Saturday against Watford, you know, if I was a neutral watching Watford Arsenal, I would have turned off the telly. And tonight I would have turned off the telly, you know, that first half. There was not a lot to scream and shout about. And it was just one of those games where we weren't playing badly, we weren't playing brilliantly, but, you know, both teams weren't really playing very well at all, if we're being perfectly honest. And it was just one of those games which, you know, was just petering out. And at half-time, when the teams, you know, like, went in, and I was thinking that Arsene Wenger will just say kind of, you know, get the ball going, you know, we need to get this passing play quicker. I mean, Arsenal are renowned and known for their quick play, interplay, 1-2, you know, first touch, second touch, getting the ball in down the right-hand side, cutting opposition teams with the pace, the power, the passing. And we just lack that. We lack it so many times more often than not. And, you know, when we do play in kind of the fourth gear, top acceleration, constantly passing it, moving it over and over again, getting into great opportunities, causing defensive so many problems, even though defensively we're kind of, you know, have a little bit of frailties at the back. You know, we're an absolute joy and a pleasure to watch, and probably one of the best teams in kind of the Premier League and all in the world to watch, really. But there's moments where we just play so negative football, and it's really kind of unrewarding to see. But I expected Arsene Wenger to kind of say to the players at half-time, look, we're in the game, we're playing well, we're controlling the ball, we've got, you know, majority of the ball. Red Star are giving us respect. They're staying back. That, you know, they're allowing us to play. Just go out there and try and cut through the opposition and get that first ball, that final pass, that awaitive pass, that final touch has to kind of bend and go through, and you've got to get that last touch to kind of open yourself and get yourself in space to allow you to get into chances. And it was that final chance was lacking. And if we got that final ball spot on, we would have created a lot more opportunities. And it was kind of the same story in the second half. You know, there was moments where, again, we were creating a few decent chances, a couple of saves here or there. Red Star had a couple of decent chances here or there. They had a corner that came in and it hit the post. And it was a stop and start game, really. And it was just one of those games where, you know, Red Star would have a chance, we'd have a chance, and it would, you know, dissipate. And then kind of Red Star would try and break through, we'd win the ball back, and then they'd break us down. And it was a stop-start, hide-and-seek kind of game, really. A little bit of controversy that happened around the 80th minute. There was about 11 minutes ago. Roderick had picked up a yellow card on a challenge on Maitland-Niles early on in the second half, and it was a blatant yellow card. He just went in for the ball, didn't get the ball, got the man, took the man out, and took down Maitland-Niles, and then got back up, and he got a yellow card for, you know, the challenges that he put on. And then it was Coquelin who was running down kind of into the heart of midfield, kind of trying to interchange and interloop the play. And Roderick, I mean, the ball, they both go up for a header, and he just clips him. It's a very, very soft challenge. Very, very soft challenge, and it hits Coquelin at the top of the head. He rolls down, he literally does this with his face, and he goes, and then looks up to try and find the referee, and then, oh, referee, you can see me, and then does it again. He's playing for it, and Coquelin is literally playing for it and trying to get him sent off, and actually, the referee does send him off, and, you know, gets a red card. I mean, it was soft, both of them going up for the ball. You could argue I've seen it be given as a foul before, but it was such a soft challenge. It was such a weak challenge, really. And Coquelin really did play for that. Stayed on the floor for a couple of minutes, and as soon as Roderick came off, he got right back up and thought, right, let's get into it, boys. But, you know, when you're on the yellow card, maybe you have to be more disciplined, and you have to be a bit more conscientious of and aware of, you know, the tackles and the decisions you make trying to win the ball back. So, you know, Red Star go down to 10 men, and at this point you're thinking, you know, right, now we really need to take, you know, the game by the scruff of the neck and really create a chance. You know, against Cologne, you know, we'd started poorly. We had an awful first half, conceding the goal, and then second half we came out, flew out the blocks, and got ourselves 3 really well crafted, really well rounded goals to get ourselves 3 points against Bate Borisov. It was a different game. We started really quickly. We took a 3-0 lead. We allowed Bate Borisov to get back in the game. We then got a 4th goal to finish the game, and then at the end, you know, Bate Borisov got 1 goal back in the last 15 minutes. They could have nicked it and had and you know, it would have been a very cagey and intense final few minutes, but we held on. So, you know, a great second half against Cologne, a fabulous first half, and some great moments in the second half, and held on in the second half against Bate Borisov. And this was a different game. It was 0-0. It was quite a boring game. It was quite a slow, stiff game, and we just needed one chance. But then in the 85th minute, my oh my, you know, you say you've wasted 84 minutes of your life, but you won't see many better goals than this we spoke about. And I don't know if you saw last night in the Champions League, Dzeko's absolutely fabulous goal. Wasn't as good as Dzeko's goal, but it was just a great goal nonetheless. Ball comes in, Jack Wilshere hits it over the top, right hand side, Walcott back in, and Olivier Giroud is turning around and he does just a back kick, really, bicycle kick, and he hits it up and over, and it goes into the back of the net. Originally, when I was watching it, it looked very much like it was, you know, a side netting. The cameras, the BT cameras that you see when they're actually broadcasting the match, are so far away from the pitch in Europa League matches. I'm not too sure why the camera work is seriously dodgy, like seriously shaky camera work from BT. But what happened is that visually it looked like side net, and then when they played it back, just a lovely, you know, one-touch play between Walcott and Wilshere. Wilshere over the top to Walcott into Giroud. He did not mean to do it, 100% we know. Giroud has done it with the scissor kick that he got last season against Crystal Palace, but he did not mean to do that one iota. He had the ball back and he just got a little bit of contact on it, and he got the ball up and over and into the back of the net. Absolutely fabulous goal, brilliant goal really. I don't think he meant it, but nonetheless, the build-up play beforehand, the link-up play, the one-touch play between Wilshere and Walcott, and then into the path of Giroud was absolutely exquisite. We get the goal and hold on to what again is 3 really big points, and it was a great goal, great Arsenal move. We've seen it time and time again, you know, Arsenal doing these one-touch plays. Remember the goal that Jack Wilshere scored against Norwich a couple of seasons ago? It was in the 13-14 season, where it was just that one-touch play, 1-2, 1-2, back in, and then scores, and it was very similar to that. It was 1-2 in goal, boom, done. You know, it was a beautiful goal. And, you know, it shows a little bit of character, a little bit of fight, because it is one of those games where I was saying to my dad that I'd take a draw, really. Both teams have not played particularly well, and if we can go away from home and pick ourselves up a point and keep unbeaten, a point is better than nothing. But we actually have got ourselves 3 points, you know, and it is a big goal, really, because we're in cruise control of the group, you know, in Group H. We're 5 clear of Bate Borisov and Red Star. Cologne, actually, incidentally, I don't think have 3 points yet in our group, and we play Red Star next on the 22nd of November at the Emirates, and I think if we win that, we're basically going to be a point away to qualify, and probably even maybe we will qualify. So that is absolutely brilliant, you know, the fact that, you know, we're playing, you know, what I like about what Arsene Wenger's doing in the Europa League is he's playing a mixture of experience and youth. It's a gamble because on the bench we didn't really have any experience whatsoever, so if things aren't going well, then, you know, you've really not got any backup. But it's great getting these young players like Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson, you know, chances to really kind of go centre stage and try and prove that they can maybe potentially get into this, you know, proper starting 11 Arsenal team. And it's just really, really rewarding to see these young players. And Maitland-Niles was fabulous. Reece Nelson was poor, but had a couple of really good chances. And it's great to give these young players, you know, chance on the big stage to kind of show Arsene Wenger that they've actually got something about them. And, you know, the goals that we scored tonight was absolutely brilliant. And we're showing character. We're staying in games against Bate Borisov. You know, there was kind of the last 15 minutes where we really could have wiped out a 3-goal lead, really, against Cologne. You know, had we kept going the way that we did, we could have easily lost that game. You know, we woke up at half-time. So we're showing character and spirit in the Europa League, and we're not using our, you know, full strength 11, and we're still showing that strength and character, something that Troy Deeney believes that Arsenal don't have. But we showed it tonight. It was a very, very poor game, and it wasn't a game that was filled with great highlights. You know, the highlights of that game, there's not going to be many, but, you know, it doesn't matter how you win, it's just that you win at the end of the day. I've got to give a shout out also, as well to Red Star, because the crowd was absolutely superb. Bati Borisov's crowd was just outstanding. Cologne's crowd that we saw at the Emirates was just exceptional, and tonight was no exception. They literally had the biggest flag I think I've ever seen at a football field. You know, you see the regular flags that, you know, the people move from side to side, but this flag was massive and it was stationary, like it just wasn't moving whatsoever. And I was like thinking, how on earth are those football fans that are holding the flag actually seeing the game, because it's absolutely massive. And where the crowd were, like where all the stands of where the crowd was sitting, is so far away from the pitch. It reminded me of like the days of Stamford Bridge with the racetrack. You know, where the pitch is and to where the crowd are, there was at least a good 10 metres away from them, like even further than, you know, your average kind of distance from where the pitch is to the crowd. And I'd say there was about an additional 10 metres on top of that to where it was. But the crowd were absolutely brilliant, and you know, you could see quite truly how just amazing really the crowd were from start to finish. Like they just didn't stop. But you know, to get 3 wins out of 3, to win back-to-back away games in the Europa League in hostile environments, shall we say, is commendable. And I have to praise the boys. It was not a great game, you know, by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a game at the end of the day that we got ourselves 3 more points, you know, and we got ourselves a goal later on, a great goal. And, you know, we move on, we get back to winning ways. And that's the most important thing when you have a bad result. You've got to get back to winning ways and kind of get this run back going again. Because before the Watford game, we were doing well. We were unbeaten in our last 7 games since the Liverpool defeat. And things were going well. So getting right back to winning ways. And now we've just got to keep this run going. But, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with the win. It's kind of difficult when talking about these Europa League games, when nothing much has happened. You know, you kind of have to kind of just dissect the game as a whole. And I'm saying that it wasn't a great game. You know, it wasn't a game that filled me with, you know, I enjoyed it, because it wasn't the most enjoyable game. But, you know, at the end of the day, the result is all I care about. And the result was the right result. And we got, you know, the win. And the win is all we need. And now we just need to keep this going. And, you know, we should be one of the favourites to win the Europa League. We've just got to keep these wins running and, you know, get qualified and then regroup again when the Europa League gets into the knockout stage. And that's when the competition will get slightly more tougher. But I can still see a couple of more, you know, maybe a few more shocks and surprises along the way in the Europa League. It's not, you know, out of the equation yet, but we are certainly in a very, very good position. Next up for us is we've got to focus on the Premier League. You know, we've got a big away game against Everton on Sunday. We've got to get a win there, really. We've got Swansea coming up, and we've got Norwich in the Carabao Cup as well. So, you know, we need to kind of really start to get this winning run going and just get back to winning ways. And the more games we can win and the more kind of performances or that we can show character, you know, maturity, spirit when we're not playing well. And also, I want us to have a performance where we absolutely just rip a team just, you know, to pieces. I haven't seen that this season. I've not seen one performance where I've gone absolutely incredible. I want to see a performance that literally makes me breathless. Maybe the Chelsea game, which was a 0-0, which I saw a lot of character and fight, you know, was probably the closest. But I want to see a game where we don't just beat a team comprehensively, but we absolutely just rip them to shreds. And as more as I see this character and spirit and fight that I know Arsenal can do, I'm very, very happy. We need to keep, you know, our form in the Premier League going to sustain, you know, getting back into this top 4 and keep this win run going in the Europa League. And we have no problems whatsoever. I'm going to end it there, though, for analysing Arsenal this week. And I will be joining you again on Sunday for the Premier League encounter between... win is very bad. Jesus Christ. I will rejoin you again for Everton against Arsenal on Sunday. Again, apologies for the lack of uploads recently this week. Again, we'll be back to normal this weekend. And I've got a Bagpuss Uncut video again for you on Monday. So please stay tuned for that. We're so close to 100 subscribers as well. If you really enjoy this series and you're showing your support on it, I'd just absolutely love for you guys to subscribe. I'd love to hit 100 subscribers before my birthday on the 12th of November. So please help me hit that target. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Please make sure to leave a like if you are new, or please make sure to leave a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And this is DJ Bagpuss signing out, and I shall speak to you later. Until next time, I will speak to you soon. And Arsenal, you haven't let me down. Great performance, great win. And we soldier on Sunday. And next in the Europa League, we face Red Star once again. but this time it will be at the Emirates. Until next time, goodbye.